Hi, YouTube followers. This is Gary Campbell with Jessica Harris. She's here to continue in the series, The Artist Recreates the World. And she told me she is a superhero. Yes. And the artist, the real artist, that's what you are. Superhero. So welcome, Jessica. So tell us about that superhero. So you're a heroine. Tell us about being a superhero and why you say that.
Okay. Well, I believe in my heart of hearts that Christ is the greatest superhero. And that spirit and that mind of God would have you have a certain love and admiration for all creation and including people. So I have this idea that the world doesn't need to be saved, but there's a lot of healing that needs to be done.
No doubt.
And healing is a beautiful, beautiful thing to have, but it's also something that has to come with courage and a certain dynamic of wisdom and strength. And you have to be heroic. And art is a gift from God so that you can be fruitful, in many different ways. So I would like to be fruitful, and not just for myself, but definitely for the rest of the world. And that for me is for myself as well. And being fruitful is doing acts out of, love and wanting to teach and educate and culture in the spirit, culture in the mind, the heart of the being. So that's what I want to. That's what I do, and that's what I want to do, and I want to do well. So yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a superhero. We not only create for ourselves, but we create for others. And that is a Herculean task. And the reason it is because we live in a society that is very greedy, very selfish. And so we have to take on these Christ-like characteristics day in and day out that go totally against mass culture, and we have to embrace them. And not only embrace them, but we have to give them to other people through our creative heart. So that's hard. That's not easy because people look at artists, and you tell me they look at you like you're really strange.
Absolutely.
Like, why are you going that way? Why are you doing that? Why are you saying that? Can't you see us all walking this way? You're going the wrong way.
Yes.
But you have to remember you're a superhero.
I had a dream once that there was just a road, and all I saw was my legs, and I was walking down the road, but my shoes were on backwards. So my feet were like this. Well, the shoes were on the wrong foot, is what it was. And I had these big feet, and it was this beautiful road, but the shoes were on the wrong foot. So I took that, as I sequenced through life, I took that as, okay, there's a certain road you can walk down, but there's a certain way. And for me, that road is narrow. So you do have to go against the grain because we're living in a time that tries to drain the human force and vitality and the life and love out of people. So I go to school for psychology. I'm going to graduate with a degree in counseling psychology, but for years it was forensic psychology. That comes across in some of my poetry is psychology and spirituality. But I say it to say that I don't think it would be so much psychological work to be done on people if we lived in a world that was made for the soul, for the mind, that's innately created. If we live in a world that abided by the natural law of folks, but we don't. We live in a world that strains people. So I want to be a superhero. I want to recreate. I want to build. Nation build is what we call it.
Recreate, nation build.